Maria, what is the picture looking like at the moment then across Europe?
Well, Anna, what you're seeing is that the situation has really changed over the past 2 weeks. We are seeing the number of cases climb to levels we hadn't since April, May. Yesterday, of course, the French put out bad data that actually showed a big one-day increase. When you look at Spain, which is now very much the epicenter of the COVID-19 in Europe, cases have just rocketed in places like Madrid over the past 2 weeks. And the government right there is under huge pressure to declare the state of emergency once again. And this idea of a second wave is almost now openly talked about in Spain. So the mood and the numbers have really changed really across Europe, and that is creating a lot of hesitation and a lot of worries that perhaps we are going to see more cases climb up as we get to the flu season, but also questions as to what does it mean for the recovery? Is it going to take some of the impetus away, and what is going to happen with the school year? This is a crucial question for Europe. Schools are about to open in 2 weeks' time. It's key for parents to go back to normality, to go back to normal work hours. This is a question mark. Are we going to be able to open schools?
Yeah. Well, and key for, I think a lot of people are saying the mental health of children, too, to get back into those schools. I wonder about the economic part of the equation here, Maria, because we've heard so many national leaders say they're not going to go back to full-on lockdowns because the economy can't take it, and they're better prepared in any case at hospitals in terms of health care. But what are we seeing already? I mean, because I know so many people have canceled vacations in the last week. I'm sure that retail is being affected as well. Masks are being required a lot more in streets, et cetera. What are we seeing in terms of the economic effects now?
Yes, you're right on both fronts. We've heard from Emmanuel Macron saying in an interview that the country cannot be stopped once again. The Italian health minister yesterday said that he does not see a need for a lockdown. And by the way, he also insisting that schools will reopen in September. But if you look at the situation right now for a country like Spain, and I was just there last week, it really has been a summer of misery. You know, we've seen from hotels, from airlines, from restaurants, all of them say this is not a summer like we're used to. The quarantine from the UK did a lot of damage for hotel companies in Spain. They also talked about one booking for every 3 cancellations. And you also had very strict new rules come into place, like not being able to smoke in a terrace, having to really maintain the social distance. And that for a bar, for a restaurant, is difficult because you have to accommodate all of that quickly, and it costs money. And you also see, not just in Spain, but also Italy, this idea that restaurants have to close earlier because it's young people that are spreading coronavirus when they go out, they drink, and they don't respect the rules. Of course, if you're a restaurant and you have to take in less people and you have to close in earlier than usual, you're not making that much money.
Maria, we heard last week from Angela Merkel and Emmanuel Macron suggesting that lockdowns should now be avoided at any cost. If you're going to do that, you need to do other things. So what measures are being taken to try to control the virus without fully locking down economies?
Look, Anna, that is a big question at this point because we are seeing the governments are taking measures. We've seen Italy say we're going to close down our nightlife after 6 p.m. You have to wear a mask. There's already speculation that the French are going to make the use of masks mandatory at all times at work. We've already seen that social distancing has been reinforced. So that does make you question, what can you do next? I think a lot of this has to do with stepping up testing and also tracing when you get people coming from other places, and just that particular area of testing and being able to link if there is someone that has coronavirus, who has he potentially infected. But again, it's difficult to see what else can they do. And if you go on the streets in Europe, I think it's very fair to say that people do comply with the measures. You know, I was in Spain, everyone wore a mask pretty much 24/7.
No, absolutely. But I wonder if, in France, people will wear the masks, but they whip them off every time they want a boisson or to fumer. And it'll be interesting to see if the French make smoking on public streets illegal as well, because it does seem that people who wear masks feel like if they want to smoke, they can go ahead and take off the mask, almost no matter where they are. So it's interesting to see those laws being changed.